Yeah, I made something pretty cool. A little crazy, but really cool. Hope you guys enjoy watching the video. Hi guys, this is going to be a different kind of video. I'm going to the Northeast Airgun Classic competition in 2 days, so this week is going to be really difficult to edit a full hunting video, so I thought I could just throw together like a little behind the scenes do-it-yourself video. I hope you guys enjoy it. And if you like this kind of video, this style of video, let me know and I can do some more of them. Alright, thanks and enjoy. One of the things that I have tried to do in the past is figure out how to use an air gun to go bow fishing with. And that's been really simplified now that Donnie's come out with his Saber Tactical bow fishing kit for the FX Impact. But I tried this way back when. My very first attempt was watching videos that these guys do over in Indonesia, and they use these darts, right? I went and I had some of these darts made up. They've got a copper outer core with a steel inner core. I never actually got done making them. They're supposed to have like a little Delrin spacer here, and these were gonna go down the barrel of my 25 cal Benjamin Marauder, and then I was gonna attach some line to them and shoot them at fish and hope they work. I've got a bunch of these darts made up. I still might try to do this because it's just awesome, and I think it would be pretty cool to do. My second attempt was using an Umarex Air Javelin, and these guys right here. These are a special fish point, and they've got a hole bored through this end. So unlike your traditional bow fishing arrow, which the string attaches to a slider, the string would attach here, and it worked. It shot the arrows, but I wish it had a little bit more power, which is where the FX Crown with the arrow launcher comes in, where these guys will be revisited. And I'll actually put the video of the Umarex Air Javelin trying to fish hunt next week, where you'll see these guys in action. We didn't actually have much or any success. It was the first time we tried bow fishing, so we really didn't know where to aim, but these are awesome, and I've got like 100 of these. And I had that Air Javelin set up down in Florida for a special hunt, and I wanted like a little fun pre-hunt to the hunt. Donnie, Ken Hicks, and Justin from Utah Air were coming, so I wanted to kind of show them, oh, look at this cool thing I have. And that's when Donnie kind of told me he had something in production as well, which was awesome. My overall goal for this project is to have a bow fishing rod, reel, handle combination with a quick detach that I can easily pop off once I skewer a fish. And the reason I want this is because if you're fishing around salt water, dirty water, any water really, you don't want that fish to splash when it comes close to you and get salt water all over your gun. The other really important thing is I want the gun separate from the equation. That way I can put the gun somewhere safe, so that way when the fish gets close to shore, if I need to set the reel down, I can set it down on some rocks, I can set it down on the edge of the boat and use both hands to tend to the fish. I don't have to worry about where my gun is, what I'm setting it in, if it's mud, if it's sharp rocks, or if it's on the edge of a boat where it could have the potential to go overboard. You know, just a peace of mind of where my gun is gonna be as the fish is coming in. The other real cool advantage this gives you is once you shoot the fish, you can pop the reel off, pass it off to someone else, reload, and wait for Moby Dick to surface again and shoot him right in his whale face. And yeah, I know what you're all thinking.
Whatever's wrong with you is no little thing.
And you guys would be absolutely right. It's no little thing. In the video, I'm gonna show you the different pieces you'll need and how to put them together. Here are two different styles of reel seats. I got them both on Amazon. They were both the same price, but I recommend you go with this one, the solid one. The one that has the cutouts. First off, these giant cutouts are cut at such an angle, it creates an incredibly sharp edge, and if you were to run your finger in there quick enough, it would cut you. Secondly, these holes right here, the metal is so thin in these two spots that if this thing is gonna break, it's gonna break right there. I honestly could probably, if I really flex down on it right now, bend it. So that's why I recommend you go with this one. For the video purposes, since I didn't realize these were a different diameter until 10 seconds ago, we're gonna go with this one. Everything that I do with this one will apply equally to this one as soon as I adapt the spacer design over. Next thing you're gonna need is a reel. So I ordered a Muzzy 1097 XD, but it is currently in the mail shipping to me along with my scope rings that I chose, which we'll get into right after this. But this is going to stand in place for this video purposes. This is an old school Penn deep sea reel. It's really neat. Along with that, you're going to need a bow fishing rod of your choice. I chose the Muzzy shoot-through rod just because it goes together with the Muzzy reel. And last but not least, you will need a 30mm quick disconnect ring. This obviously isn't a quick disconnect or the one I'm going to be using because that's also in the mail. The one I chose is the same brand. It's a UTG 30mm quick disconnect, only I chose the high height for the ring, and I'm thinking that extra little height or distance will allow me to slide my hand in between the reel seat and be able to hold the bottle while aiming, so I can go like this and aim the gun. One thing I did try is I tried an offset ring. I'm thinking, you know, push everything forward and I can get a little longer rod grip, but it didn't work because when it was installed, even though it would push things forward with my rod grip installed, there wouldn't be enough clearance for my fingers to get between there and hold it. So it didn't work out, wasn't a really good idea. But you live and you learn. Now on to the custom bits. Here are the rod handles. I designed them and printed them out on my resin printer. This one is 4¼ inches long, and this one is just over 3 inches long. And I chose 2 different lengths because with different guns and different setups, you might not have clearance for a longer handle, but you will have a clearance for a shorter handle. And it just gives you more options. You could put it on the side of the gun, underneath the gun. You might want to go with a longer handle or a smaller handle, depend on what's more comfortable. Both of these fit in my hand. Both will work perfectly. One just gives you a little more grip area, a little more room to maneuver your hand on it, and one just is pure business, getting the job done. That looked inappropriate, but it wasn't. Give me a moment. Okay. And the next thing are the scope ring spacers. These are the second version of these. The first version just looked like this right here with no little locking tabs on. They were made by Earless down in Florida when we needed something immediately. But these ones here, they just click in place like that. And when they click in place, man, they lock in. They aren't gonna fall out. And what these do is they bear down and bite on the thread part and lock this in place. Once they're bitten down on that thread part, this isn't going anywhere at all, period. All right, hopefully I haven't bored you so far with all these different little parts and showing you, but I think it gives a nice overview picture of what you need and the thought process of doing this. Let's make the thing now. It's what you're all here for, right? When you get your reel seat in, it's gonna have these 2 bolts in it with 2 nuts on them. You can go ahead and take these off. Save the nuts, because if you lose the nut for your bow fishing rod, these will come in handy to replace that lost nut. The bolts you could probably just chuck in the trash. In the end of the handle, there's a little hex cutout. And you line that up. Just push it in. Push it in right quick and flush. How these reel seats are made, every bit of this threaded rod is actually engaging a inner threaded surface. So this isn't just a thin little slice in here. The threads will engage this entire area right here. And then just screw it in. And then just snug it up a little bit. There we go. Now the only thing I didn't put in here, which I would if I were actually taking this out and using it, I would put a single drop of blue Loctite in there. This handle is more than strong enough to torque and break that Loctite free if you want to take it out and put another one in. You could make car lug nuts out of this. This is the strongest resin commercially available. All right, next step is putting our reel in. That way we can line our rod up. There you go. Now it's coming together. This thing is huge on this. So then this would connect in like this. And this has a hole that goes through this very end, just this very end piece right here. There's a hole and everything is smooth. And that's where your line feeds through. Like an old-timey drill. Line it up there and then use your nut to cinch that down in place. So that's kind of how it would be mounted. And then lastly, your scope ring will go right here. And see this is all threaded right here. So this is gonna actually lock in there and bite into those threads so it's not moving. The spacer is printed out of a different material than the handles, so it allows it to flex and move, so where you can actually flex it down and have it bite into that thread material. And I know this video might just be the insane ramblings of a crazy person. It probably is, but I had a lot of fun thinking of this idea, coming up with it, and I think it's actually gonna work awesome when, you know, I have the right reel and scope ring on here. And when I'm done with this, I'm gonna show this to Donnie and get his opinion on it. I think that would be really interesting to see any ideas that he has that could improve this. And if this actually works and people are really interested in this, I think I might actually make this available and figure out how to sell it. Slowly tighten up here. The problem is I've rounded this here, so half of these turns aren't actually making anything move unless I really kind of, yeah, see, like that's just spinning. But anyways, that's the concept. So your gun's gonna sit on top here, boom, hit the quick release, grab your fishing rod. I reel like this. I don't know. Erlis says I'm weird for reeling like this. He says a fishing rod should be reeled like this. That just doesn't feel right to me. So I'm going to flip my rod over, fight my fish in, and yeah, back to the blue Loctite. You would definitely want to blue Loctite this in. I can over crank this thing, so I don't want to crank it too much. Alright, let's crank it too. Yeah, no, it's good. It actually... I took it. Okay. No, that's... Yeah, but still, a drop of blue Loctite isn't going to hurt things at all. If you get a reel seat like this, and I highly suggest you do, you're only going to end up using one of the nuts that comes supplied with it. So you can end up taking one of these off. The two nuts are just to lock down the reel when it's on so it can't back off. One of the nuts locks the other nut in place. With this design, obviously the scope ring would end up locking that nut in place and preventing it from backing out. Here it is. So like I said, yeah, with the high scope ring, it'll give a little more clearance. So I can get my fingers through here now, but with the high one, it would definitely get through there. And one of the cool things too is if you were to loosen the scope ring right here, you could rotate this whole thing either way this way or either way that way. Just to make it more ergonomical, whatever suits you best. If I put the smaller grip on right here, I got a lot more room for my hand. I can do everything here. When I shoot a fish with this little flare at the end of the rod handle, more than enough room to comfortably grab it, get a good grip on it, click the quick disconnect off with my thumb right here, and start reeling my fish in. And the cool thing is too, you don't need to have the impact with the impact fishing kit to use something like this too. If you had like the Crown or any one of the arrow launchers that just shoot normal arrows and that can shoot them fast enough, if you had a broadhead or a fishing tip like this that has a little hole in it, you can attach it really quick, use that for fishing as well. I don't know what more I can say. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Can't wait to use this in a couple months when I take a trip someplace really awesome. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.